Welcome to EPG Pathshala. This is Professor G. Srinivas Reddy, former Professor of Public Administration, Kakti University. Today we are going to have a presentation on Thomas Woodrow Wilson, who is considered to be the father of public administration. Let me just mention the scheme of the lecture or presentation. Firstly, I'll introduce who Thomas Woodrow Wilson is. Secondly, I'll make a mention of his brief biodata. Thirdly, I'll mention about his important writings or publications. And fourthly, I'll mention about the major contributions of Woodrow Wilson, and then followed by a critical appraisal of his contributions. Finally, I'll sum up and raise some questions for discussion. This is the sequence of the lecture. Let me first mention that administrative thinkers are those people who deeply think about administrative process and give their ideas. Thinkers are not ordinary beings who would say some commonsensical thing, but thinkers are those who have deep understanding about the phenomena on which they are going to make contributions. Woodrow Wilson, for short, whose full name is Thomas Woodrow Wilson, is born on 28th of December 1856 in Virginia, state of United States of America. Coming to his education, he studied political science, government and law. He has graduated from the reputed Princeton University. Woodrow Wilson has written many books and articles, but the most famous of his contributions is the study of administration. This is a very short article in which he makes the argument that public administration is separate from political science. Actually, in the realm of action in the government, both the things were combined in the United States of America under a system known as spoil system, wherein a party that comes to power used to fill up all the administrative positions with its own party favorites. Because of this, there was partiality, lack of objectivity in administration, and lack of universal thinking in the sense that every citizen is equal for them. So this created problem, and it was under these circumstances Woodrow Wilson wrote this particular article in the year 1887. This article was published in Political Science Quarterly, and talking about the influence of this article, it is said that seldom in the history of ideas, seldom in the history of subjects, the evolution of subjects, a short article has made such a long impact. It was a short article, but which has resulted in the birth of a new subject, namely public administration. Before this, public administration was studied as a part of political science, and this was because of the reason that there was no separation between politics and administration. And let me briefly mention about the circumstances under which Woodrow Wilson has written this particular article. America was governed by a system known as spoil system, under which there was no strict separation between politics and administration. And as it is well known, American government is a two-party government. One party comes into power and other goes off from power, and whichever party comes to power will fill up all the administrative positions with its party favorites. And this used to create problems, and this kind of filling up administrative positions with party favorites is known as spoils system. Spoils, this idea has come from the warfare. Whenever a victorious army wins the battle, it will take full control of everything and it will share the loots that are there in the war. Similarly, whichever party comes to power used to have all the positions of privilege for itself and not making any distinction between politics and administration. And this has resulted in the administration being very inefficient, partisan, discontinuous, and there were problems of this nature in America precisely at a time America was becoming a complex political administrative system. You must be aware that America has emerged from long colonial rule by the British, and America was in the at this point of time, 1887, when the article was written, American administration was becoming complex, and people who are untrained, people who are partisan, people who are merely chosen for the reason of favoritism or ideological affinity cannot be trusted to do the administrative jobs at this point of time. And the spoil systems resulted in the assassination of one of the former presidents of America, President Garfield, and this was done by a disgruntled job seeker who was, although qualified for a government job, he did not get it because he did not belong to the political party in power. And in disgust, this man went and murdered the president, the highest functionary of American administration, the President of America. This made the whole America sit up and discuss what went wrong with the spoil system. And concurrently with this, along with this, there was what was known as a civil service reform movement in America. Civil service reform movement was a development in which attention was paid to reforming the civil services. Let me mention, for the benefit of you students, that there are two kinds of employees that the government employs. One civil, the other one is military. Civil services other than military and police. The civil servants are those people who serve the civilian population other than in war effort and all that. So the civil service reform movement was aimed at cleansing administration in the United States of America. The murder of president, the ills of spoil system getting exposed due to this murder, the civil service reform movement provided the ideological backdrop in which Woodrow Wilson has written his article. The basic contribution of Woodrow Wilson is politics administration dichotomy. The dichotomy is the word which has to be contrasted with monotony. Monotony means one and the same. Dichotomy means two different things. The basic argument of politics administration dichotomy is that politics and administration are two different things. And Woodrow Wilson has made a number of arguments saying that politics deals with the policy making, administration deals with execution of the policies. Politics is the province of the statesman. Administration is the province of the practical official. Administration is the most visible side of the government. The thinking side of the government is politics, the contemplation, thinking and all that. Therefore, politics is less obvious side of the government. So these are some ways in which he has made a distinction between politics and administration. And another important advocacy of Woodrow Wilson is that administration should be freed from the political currents and cross currents. What it means is that there should be a separate structure of administration under the government, and this should comprise of the civil servants who are chosen on the basis of merit. The civil servants should be selected on the basis of their accomplishment rather than their political ideology. And the civil servants should be permanent employees, and there should be one wing of the government which should be continuously there. What was happening in America at this time, at this point of time, was that with the change of government, whenever elections were held, there used to be change of government quite often, and with the change of government, there was also change of the government officials. And Woodrow Wilson's argument was that this should not happen, and there should be some permanent anchor in government, and these people will provide the continuity and link with the past. In addition to politics administration dichotomy, Woodrow Wilson has made an argument which is known as the argument of administrative science. Now, the concept of administrative science is that administration is administration no matter whether it is public administration or private administration. Woodrow Wilson believed that administration is universal. Universal in the sense it is applicable everywhere. Administration is there in government, administration is there in business, administration is there in family, administration is there in school, administration is there in police department, administration is there in war effort, administration is there in religious ecclesiastical affairs also. So administration is administration. So this is the argument, and what Woodrow Wilson meant was administration, the techniques of administration are universal, common, both for business and the government. The next important contribution of Woodrow Wilson is to the comparative method of study of administration or society. At that time, the philosophical method was having upper hand. Philosophical method talks about the ends of government, what the government is for and all that. But the comparative method tries to see how different governments are functioning, how different administrative systems are functioning. On the basis of this comparative study, it is possible to identify some benchmarks, look at the best practices of one country so that the other country also would benefit. So therefore, the third important contribution rather, the first contribution as I mentioned is politics administration dichotomy. The second important contribution is the argument of administrative science, which says that both public administration and private administration have so much to borrow from each other. And this third argument is comparative method is the best method of study, and the comparative method has to be preferred over the philosophical method. And these are some of the important contributions of Woodrow Wilson. And he also said that irrespective of the ideological backgrounds of the countries from which you want to learn lessons of administration, you can learn lessons. Before that, there was a feeling that authoritarian regimes like the German administrative system is not suitable for emulation by countries like United States or England or other democratic regimes. Woodrow Wilson said that it's not necessary. You can borrow the techniques of administration from whatever regime it is. He gave the example of a murderer sharpening the knife to murder somebody. He said this technique of sharpening the knife is important for anybody. You can learn how to sharpen the knife from a person with murderous intention. You may not have that intention. You will have a intention of helping people to cut vegetables or to cut fruits. You can all the same learn the techniques of sharpening the knife. Therefore, what he was mentioning is that there are some administrative practices or the best practices, benchmarks, whichever system has them, it is possible to borrow and attune them to one's own native system. Now, having said this, now let's have a look at what Woodrow Wilson has contributed. Woodrow Wilson's contributions have received wide attention because of the important argument he was making and also because of his personal reputation. He was the governor of New Jersey and eventually became the president of United States of America. I think he was the president of United States of America when the First World War broke out. And he was the one person who was one of the important statesmen who contributed to world peace through the christening of the League of Nations. Now, coming back to the argument of politics administration dichotomy, even today it is not agreed by all that politics is different from administration. Woodrow Wilson made a very powerful argument that politics and administration are separate, and this argument of Wilson has to be seen in the context of the then political, economic and cultural or historical conditions in the United States of America and the murder of a president and all that. So the argument of Woodrow Wilson gained force and momentum because of these happenings. But now, looking dispassionately at this argument, is it really possible to separate out what politicians do from what administrators do? In fact, if we agree politics administration dichotomy as valid, then we have to admit that politics can be totally separated from administrators' actions. And actually, in actual practice, this is not so. There are many administrators with political leanings, many administrators who have ideological moorings, many administrators who just dance to the tunes of politicians and not really being independent and all that. And administrators also have compulsions. Whatever party is in power, it would press for its ideologically oriented programs, and administrator is supposed to help him. So therefore, politics and administration separability, strict separation into watertight compartments is in practice not at all possible. But in the context of that time and also in the wider context of democratic administration, we have to look at democracy as a system of constant changes in political ideologies of the ruling dispensations. As a result of this, there should be some neutral element, and administrators provide that kind of neutrality, continuity, expertise, and all that. And therefore, this argument is widely believed, and all the modern regimes are based on Woodrow Wilson's argument of separability of politics and administration, or the politics administration dichotomy. Although theoretically it's not possible to totally separate politics from administration, but empirically, as a matter of necessity, almost all the world governments are following this system of creating a neutral element, however neutral it is. Sometimes it may be less neutral, in some countries it may be much more neutral, and all that. I think in some of the Western democracies, capitalist advanced countries, the administration is truly largely neutral, whereas in third world countries, emerging nations, where the civil society is not able to assert itself fully and forcefully, the administrators are also political in a sense. Let me just review what we have discussed. Today, we could discuss about one of the prominent administrative thinkers, namely Thomas Woodrow Wilson. Place in administration is that he is considered the father of public administration. In fact, because of his argument that public administration is a discipline, is born some 125 years back. And this discipline has exhibited a lot of dynamism. In the short history of one and a quarter century of its existence, it has spinned off so many theories, and it has, as Woodrow Wilson said, the purpose of public administration is to straighten the paths of government. And in fact, thanks to public administration and the discipline and ideas, the administrative systems have evolved into efficient systems able to serve the population objectively and efficiently, and economically too. And Woodrow's arguments of administration politics dichotomy, his argument of administrative science, and his stress on comparative methods are all taken as a valid kind of arguments. And there are many occasions when people working in government are easily able to adjust themselves in a corporate sector or private sector, and yet bringing out the same results. So this proves the argument of administrative science and also the comparative method. So with this, we conclude the presentation on Thomas Woodrow Wilson and his main argument that administration is different from political science. Let me just raise some questions and answer them. Let me first ask the question, who this man Woodrow Wilson is. Woodrow Wilson is the author of the famous article, The Study of Administration, which is responsible for the birth of the discipline of public administration. Besides doing this, he was the governor of New Jersey, he was a professor of political science, and he was also the president of United States of America. He was an internationally acknowledged statesman during his times. And Woodrow Wilson's argument has remains fresh, and so many countries after countries all over the world, the democratic, the authoritarian regimes, the theocratic regimes and dictatorships, all of them are converging into democracies having a neutral element of administration. I think this is the important contribution of Woodrow Wilson. Another question could be whether the politics administration dichotomy, is that really valid? The validity has to be debated. Theoretically, yes, it is valid, but empirically, it's not strictly valid, in the sense that politics and administration can never be separated into watertight compartments. But yet, the administrations and governments of various countries have been following basically the ideas and the arguments of Woodrow Wilson. The comparative method, which Woodrow Wilson advocated long ago, is considered to be one of the important methods for the study of public administration. Here, I would say that we conclude the presentation on the most important of the administrative thinkers, who is considered to be the father of public administration, as done. One important question about Woodrow Wilson is how he perceived administration. There are 5 things in his perception of what administration is. The first of them is administration is the most obvious and the visible part of government. What it means is that administration is visible. You can find the administrators more visible. I think you can contact administrators more than the politicians, because the politicians are fewer in number. There may be one minister heading a government, but there are a battery of officials, large number of officials working, and administrators' work is more visible. The people in society can see what the administrators are doing, whereas what the politicians are doing seldom comes to the public gaze. So this is one aspect of what administration is. The second important thing is administration lies, the domain of administration in the executive. I must inform you that the government operates through three branches. The function of government is threefold. The first of it is policy making, and the second is execution of policies, and the third is adjudication of policies. Now, the job of policy making is done by the government or the politicians in power, the ruling party members. And what policy is made has to be implemented, and this implementation is done by the executive branch of the government. And adjudication is done by the law courts of law, whether something is as per law or against the law, whether it is as per the constitution or against the constitution, is the matter decided by the judiciary. Now, there are three wings of the government: the policy making wing, the executive wing, and the judicial wing. What Woodrow Wilson's second point is that public administration is there in the executive wing of the government. So one of the three wings of the government is the executive, and administration is there in the executive. So therefore, to study administration, you have to study the functioning of executive wing. This is the second important meaning of what administration is. The third important way in which Woodrow Wilson tries to say what administration is, he says administration is a field outside the domain of politics. Politics is an area of controversy. Politics is an area of manipulations. Politics is an area of articulating the opinions and expressions and all that. But administration is outside this. Administration is less controversial part of the government. Fourth way in which Woodrow Wilson says what administration is, it deals with the activities of the officials. There are two types of people working for the government. If you just borrow an example from Indian administration, there are ministers and there are civil servants. Administration deals with the activities of the civil servants, not with the activities of the ministers. This is the meaning he is. And one more way in which Woodrow Wilson is saying that administration or public administration is the detailed and systematic execution of the public policy. The public policy is made by the politicians, and implementation of this policy is the job of administration. So administration comprises of systematic and detailed execution of policy. Systematic means a methodical execution. Politicians being people not necessarily chosen because of their education or expertise, so they may not know how to implement a policy. The politicians are aware of the pulse of the people, what people require, and therefore they articulate some policies. They broadly hint what the contours of the policy should be. It is for the administrators to fill the details. The civil servants are the secretaries, the directors, and so many officers who are working for the government. They will try to fulfill the mandate of the minister. The minister wants something, and how exactly it has to be done systematically and in giving all the details is the job of the administrators. And lastly, administration is the less controversial part of the government. There is a lot of, I think, as a matter of day-to-day practice, all of you must be aware that whenever a political statement is made, a policy move is made, there are so many people in the opposition who are faulting the policies of the government. But whenever an administrative action is there, such controversy generally doesn't raise. So the area of politics is more controversial, the area of administration is less controversial. Therefore, Woodrow Wilson says that administration or public administration is the less controversial side of the government. All the same, one has to remember that both have to work in tandem. That is, good policies have to be made, But good policies to give good results require the support of the administrators. Administrators need to be professional. Administrators need to have the knowledge of facts. Administrators need to have the knowledge of execution. Administrators should frame proper laws, and administrators should efficiently and economically achieve the objectives of the government. So therefore, administration is a very, very important and integral part of the government. But only thing is that administrators should not mix up with politicians beyond a point. It is to say that the administrators cannot, I think perhaps administrators cannot be totally insulated from politicians. They have to meet the politicians, they have to take the orders from politicians, but they should observe a line of distinction between what is policy and what is administration. It is not for them to air controversial views, and it's not for them to make policy moves. The policy move is the prerogative of the politician in power. Administrators have to only give good effect, fine effect to the policy intention of the politician. So I think this will further clarify what administration is and what Woodrow Wilson is talking for politics administration, on behalf of politics administration dichotomy.
Nice.
One question that comes up when we discuss about Woodrow Wilson is that why Woodrow Wilson was writing an article. He wrote an article on politics administration dichotomy, or the study of administration, at that point of time. Public administration is closely connected with political science, and political science or politics is a subject which has been taught and studied for about 20 centuries, 2000 years, more than 2000 years. But public administration as a separate discipline made its debut or beginning only 125 years. Now the question is, why this delay? Woodrow Wilson provides an answer to this. For a very long time, it was all the concentration was on framing a good constitution. People were engaged in finding out which is the ideal constitution, and therefore all the attention of the people, public thinking people, was consumed by what type of constitution is best. And Woodrow Wilson said that a time has come. Constitutions are there, and constitutional government has come to stay all over the European countries and advanced first world countries. Now the problem is how to implement that. So therefore, public administration study is important, because implementation is the forte of the administrators, and therefore this is the time in which this subject assumes importance. The second important thing is that the importance of public administration, or the reason why he has chosen to written on study of administration, is to straighten the paths of the government. He felt that the government was inefficient under the spoil system. One government who starts a scheme, the other government comes and says that this scheme is not good, because there was no continuity. As a result of Woodrow Wilson's argument that there is a permanent element in the name of administration, these administrators would support the earlier moves of the government. Even if the party goes out of office, the administrators are there to provide a continuous link and provide a justification for the hitherto administrative measures or welfare programs, and therefore this is one additional reason. As Alex de Tocqueville said, let fools contest for the forms of government. Whatever is best governed is best. Now this says that earlier there used to be a lot of controversy as to what is the best form of government. But by this time around, it was settled that democracy is the best form of government. Before that, there was a raging debate whether monarchy, dictatorship, democracy, what is the best form of government was unsettled question. Now the question of what is the best form of government is settled. There should be attention paid to realizing that form of government with full intent. That form of government should be effectively realized, and that is the job of administration. This answer justifies the importance of public administration. Another important question perhaps that needs to be answered a little more clearly and once again is what is this argument of administrative science? Now there are people who believe that public administration and private administration are two separate things. Private administration has profit motto, public administration has service motto. Private administration is business administration, public administration is government administration. Public administration has universal interests or everybody's interest in mind. Private administration has private interest in mind. So these kinds of arguments say that the business administration is a field which is different from public administration. Woodrow Wilson was saying that this is not so. Administration is administration, no matter whether it is business administration or public administration. Government administration and business administration have the same compulsions. They have the same principles. They have the same functions. Maybe the objectives are different. So this is the argument of administrative science. And another side of the argument of administrative science is that the best practices of administration in whichever country, whichever regime, whichever type of administration or government it is, they are relevant and useful for other kinds of governments. Now, the practices of administration from a dictatorial regime, if they are yielding good results, perhaps they can be tried in a democratic regime also. This is another side of the argument of administrative science. So administrative side makes two arguments. One argument is that there is not much difference between public administration and private administration. The difference is rather a matter of degree rather than kind. Secondly, public administration in all kinds of regimes, in all kinds of countries, having different types of political systems, they can have the same kind of compulsions and functions. And therefore, studying administration of one country by another country will be illustrative and useful. And I think Woodrow Wilson is forerunner to the later theory that has developed in public administration, and the theory is comparative public administration. Much before the argument of comparative public administration has come into being, Woodrow Wilson was precisely making that kind of argument, and therefore he was a forerunner to a theory which was yet to be born. And finally, coming to another question, what could be the overall assessment of Woodrow Wilson? Does he deserve the title that he was an administrative thinker? Yes, indeed. He was an important administrative thinker. He was thinking very deeply, and he was thinking very innovatively about the domain of administration, the methods of administration, the logic of administration, and the logic of separating it out from politics. And Woodrow Wilson looks very prophetic. I think in the last 1 century and a quarter, I think government after government, they have been following the paths laid by Woodrow Wilson, and therefore Woodrow Wilson has made great contribution to the study of public administration. Before I close, I would like to advise you what is the best reading material for this particular topic. I think Woodrow Wilson's article, The Study of Administration, is quoted in different texts. There is one book, Ideas and Issues in Public Administration by D.C. Rowett, and Administrative Thinkers, which is an Indian Indian publication, which is authored by Prasad and Prasad. And this book contains a full chapter on Woodrow Wilson. And you can also log into net and see some of the other material on Woodrow Wilson. And I would advise all the students to read the original article entitled The Study of Administration by Woodrow Wilson to gain first-hand knowledge or first-hand information as to what Woodrow Wilson has mentioned. The articles that are written in textbooks sometimes give the interpretations of the authors. These interpretations may be sometimes controversial, interpretations may be matter of fact, but sometimes they may be controversial also. So therefore, the students would be helped to get the original ideas of Woodrow Wilson by reading that article, which is printed in certain textbooks, full length, and I have mentioned Basic Issues in Public Administration is one book which contains the article of Woodrow Wilson as it is. Thank you.